Just till yesterday, we saw the Congress come out, talk about moral policing and all that was happening in Mangalore, attack the BJP. Your own Chief Minister now is saying that boys and girls shouldn't socialize, shouldn't hold hands, quote unquote, there in malls. Wouldn't you call this regressive?
Well, let's get one thing straight. There is a difference between having an opinion, whether you like that opinion or you don't like that opinion, and the manner in which that opinion is imposed upon other people. Many of these questions that you're asking are questions about which people have personal opinions. There isn't, I don't think, a standard stated policy of the Congress party on this. I think the broad liberal view about society is something that we all associate ourselves with, but there are shades of difference there. And I think personal opinion caught on camera, or indeed even stated very specifically, is not something which should be in any way associated with the kind of certainly unacceptable violence and misbehavior and misconduct that we saw the other day in Karnataka.
But Salman, you would agree. But Salman, you would agree that when that personal opinion belongs to a chief minister, it sort of attains an entirely different dimension.
Of course it does. Of course it does. And if somebody in the office of a chief minister or an important government office says something, I'm sure they have some reason for saying it. But we can differ. The Congress is not a dictatorial party. We have difference of opinion, shades of opinion. Some things are more are carried by a larger opinion base than other things. And I'm sure that this would lead to a fairly widespread discussion on an issue which frankly is a non-issue. It shouldn't have happened in the first place if people want to behave in a particular way, so long as it conforms with generally accepted standards of public decency. Right. I don't think each one of us should really be imposing our views on their lives.
Right. Earlier, BJP Chief Minister had gone ahead and said this. Wouldn't you have accused him of moral policing? How is this different?
No, I'm not, you see, moral policing must involve an act of policing. It must involve somebody actually doing something that prevents another person from behaving in a particular way. But, you know, just as we are against moral policing, let's also be against dictating to people. This is a democracy. People have a right to speak their mind, and people know what to say. And frankly, Chief Minister or anybody else, if they genuinely feel that certain things are taking us in a direction that's not a wholesome one, let them at least say so. And if they don't say so, how will they ever be able to persuade people to their point of view?
Right, Salman, we know the Chief Minister
accuse him of taking...
Right. We know the Chief Minister's personal opinion. Salman, if I could ask you that, do you believe that pop culture threatens Indian culture, what would your response be?
I don't believe it threatens Indian culture. I don't think Indian culture is so vulnerable, so weak, and so timid. But I do believe that every society has to consider from time to time the rapid change that's taking place, whether that change questions or threatens its fundamentals. And these are things that you have to sort out amongst yourselves, the institutions, amongst people who are leaders of society, of the community. And from time to time, you have to change your standards. It's happened the world over. There is a difference between law and morality. Enforcing the law and enforcing morality are two different things entirely.
Right. The West used to perhaps be even more conservative than India a few hundred years ago, but people changed society perhaps a couple of years down the line. We'll be able to say that we made a difference.